Hello and welcome to the U.S. Soccer Podcast. My name is David Goss, and this is the show where every week we bring you in-depth interviews with U.S. soccer stars of the past, present, and the future. Today, I am joined by my co-host, and if you're not watching on video, you wouldn't know. Her name is Meghan Klingenberg, but if you are, you would see it well displayed in her background. What's up, Kling?
Hey, how you doing?
So
how was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. It's my favorite holiday of the year. How about you?
I also feel exactly the same, and my Pomeranians probably like it even more than we do.
So I have to start with this. Our first ever Red Card or Play On, which is one of our favorite segments that we do.
Yes.
The first question you asked someone was
Yes.
wearing your own jersey with your own name, Red Card or Play On, and you came out the gate with Red Card, like the way you asked the question.
Yes.
You are now sitting in front of a well-sported and signed Meghan Klingenberg jersey. So have you changed your
Correct.
mind?
Absolutely. Does that look like I'm wearing it, David?
I can't stop coughing when I laugh, and you made me laugh.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I actually, this jersey has a really cool story, and I'm at my mom's house right now because my partner and I and our Pomeranians traveled here for Thanksgiving, and we got stuck with the snow, so we're still here, and she's pretty happy about it. But this jersey was the jersey that I wore in the U20 World Cup final in 2008 in Chile, and we won. Spoiler alert, against North Korea. And
Yay.
woo! And my grandpa, he was like my biggest fan, and he passed away in 2011. But before he did, I got him this really cool framed signed jersey, and he had it up in his house. And I just felt like it needed to carry on being
Yeah.
displayed. And so now it's here in my mom's.
Well, that's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
As a player, because we always talk about trading jerseys, but like your own stuff, like there's all these collectibles of what sock did you wear in the World Cup final? What headband did you wear in an NWSL championship? Did you like distribute those out to people?
Heck no, I kept those. I actually still have my 2015 game-worn jersey, never washed, in my mom's house. So it's pretty cool. It's got like a little bit of blood on it, a lot of sweat, and it just feels
Maybe a little champagne?
Oh, definitely. It smells like nasty old champagne and beer. But I just feel like I had to keep it and keep it exactly the way that it was. And I probably have too much memorabilia at this point, but all of it just feels so special. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do with it otherwise.
I'm a little bit of a hoarder with stuff like that too, of like things that are sentimental that you can't redo versus, okay, this is a nice thing that I have, fine, I'll get rid of it. But I'm in my current family's home and I went through my basement, and believe me, I have nothing of importance compared to what you have, but I'm like, but that was the bobblehead I got on the day that David Wright hit a home run. That's my
Yes.
high school soccer uniform. How could I possibly throw that out? I can only imagine if you've won a World Cup and a couple NWSL Shields and championships, the amount of stuff you would collect. For this show, we've got something special, a little bit different. Last week, we interviewed Jesús Pérez, Mauricio Pochettino's assistant. This week, we're going to have his voice on once again, this time alongside the big man, Mauricio Pochettino. They sat down for a panel with a discussion titled Meeting the Moment. It's moderated by reporter and host Jenny Taft. So we're going to go to that interview right now.
It's so good to see you guys.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you. This is a very basic question, but I found it very interesting, really meeting you guys right away, how close both of you are. You guys have been together for so long. You've coached together for so many years. I would love, Mauricio, Jesús, if you could just tell me about the evolution of your relationship and why it's been such a great fit to work together.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor for us to be with you all. It's a real honor. Okay, we are going to try to do something that to entertain you and not to be so boring on the end of this speech. But I think is yes, I think for us is the most important thing is things that we can enjoy with good people, with, of course, with quality people, with people with knowledge about what we want to do, what we want to translate to our teams. And I think that is a first responsibility. But I think when you found people that match your ideas or match your capacity or philosophy, and in the same time you can challenge and you are open that be challenged from these guys, and then they have and share the same values in a human being side. I think that is really, really important and is priceless, to work with people like Jesus or the rest of the staff. I think that is for us is the quality that always we really protect, because that is our philosophy in our life, but this in soccer and in the way that we try to apply in our professional side. And I think that is need to be natural. And if it's not natural, people can smell quick. But for us, it need to be natural. That is why I think always with time, working with every single group that we demonstrate and we prove that always we can succeed. I think because it's so important, the two sides, the professional side and the personal. I think that need to work together if you want to succeed in life, but in that sport like is soccer. And now I pass the ball to Jesus.
Jesus, about that relationship, the fact that you have been together for so long and it is such a partnership, is there a moment that you thought, this Mauricio, he has the ability to be a really good coach one day? Is there a memory, something that stands out from working together for so many years?
Well,
Tell the truth.
Yeah, of course, always.
Always.
I mean, I knew him as a player, born in the same city that he was captain of Espanyol. He was a legend there as a player, and then he went to Paris. And obviously, I didn't start his coaching career with him, so I was abroad. And it took the team in a very difficult situation with no experience as a coach. They did an incredible job. Mauricio, his staff at the time, and the second season it was even better. And then in the third season, by a lot of coincidence, I appeared there in the club, and things happened in the first team in the first weeks, and then I started to work with him closely. And by Christmas or so, 15 years ago, he said, "I want you to work with me on the field," and it was the starting point. And since then, 15 years everywhere around the world. We are now a new version of coaching staff, I will say, and coaches that are a lot, leaders that are a lot less. I think he's great quality as a human being. He says he looks at the way we are as a coaching staff, but I think he's a guy that makes everyone around better, and that's the most important for us, to try to represent him on every single situation.
Something that I found really interesting being around you guys last summer was top to bottom, and you mentioned the whole staff. It truly is a family, a partnership. Everyone is on the same page. Everyone's respected the same, from someone who's cooking for you to a training member. Where does that come from in terms of your leadership style, Mauricio, that everyone is on the same page, attacking that same goal together?
Well, I think all starts when you are a child, and you see your parents and your family behave. I think that you cannot go to the university or the school to learn that. I think it's all your value when you grow up. That was, I think, that was important for me, in the way, in the family that I grow up and seeing my family. And then I think it's really important for us to protect, because the sense of soccer or football for us, I think it's a thing that is an emotional game that is really important. The talent is the principal things that you need to care when you see a player, okay, have talent or no. But then there is the quality of the emotional, intelligence that you develop when you are a child and you grow and you learn, no, in the playing with your friends, with your brothers, with your family. And I think it's coming from there. For me, it's very natural. It's in the way that I am or we are, and how we want to be with the people and how we want to connect with the people. And I think the important thing is, okay, that can be a topic, no, that say, no, we need to behave, we need to treat all the people in the same way. And then it's about to be very natural, no? It's not to force to be like this because it should be good, because I can take something from the people, because the people is really intelligent and feel if you are very, honest, if you are natural, if you are genuine. And I think what we were doing, and we were much, much better, is, we start 1.0, 2.0, I don't know, now we are 7 or 8.0, but in our evolution, I think it's important, all the thing, because we evolve with the society, and we are people that we care a lot about the culture. When we start with Matt and with JT and with Cindy to talk about the idea to become, and to start to work together here in USA, we are people very professional that we start to, if we were aware about the culture and the philosophy here, about the soccer and about the people, how you are, how you feel, how is the characteristics of the society, of the American citizen, I think we were very focused in trying to arrive, but with the homework already done. We are not amateur that we come here and we don't know, which is the special thing for you. We know the food, we know how you enjoy different, celebrations, and that is part of our job. And if you are capable to connect with this, I think it's half of the job is done, and then you can be focused into develop the strategies and the philosophy and the idea how you can be better and help also in an individual way to make better the players.
Sure. There's a lot there that I could follow up on, but I do find it interesting, Jesus, how your role is so important in terms of the vision with the players. You guys share the same vision, but it's also important for Jesus to develop that trust. How has that trust been established with this U.S. team, with the players?
Well, I think what we try is to lead by example. This is a topic, but sometimes it's really difficult because you can make the mistake to feel that you are in a superior position to everyone else, and then you can make mistakes. So what we try as a coaching staff, the closest one is, like, as I said before, to represent him the way he is. It's not my game, it's not my vision, it's not my football. It's his vision, his football, and we need to represent him in every single department. So what I try particularly is just to connect him with every single one around to make things happen and make things as easy as possible, because the training session is like 60 minutes, 70 minutes. So, but we are 40 members of a staff and only 23 players, 26 sometimes. So we have to be very coordinated, very well organized, and in order to have efficient training session and efficient processes. So, and that's the way we try to build trust. It takes time because you cannot buy it, but with your actions, once the staff is with you, I think the players they follow the example of the coach, the example of the staff.
I think everyone in the audience probably has this question: why now? Why was this the right place for you guys to be, to lead this national team right now?
Sorry?
Why did you want to lead this U.S. men's national team right now? Why was this the right coaching job for you?
Difficult question.
What drew you to the U.S. and being a part of this vision?
Because I think one of the motivation was to go out of our comfortable zone after more than 15 years coaching teams, clubs. I think was we feel very special when the first call from Matt was, why not? I called Jesus, I said, why not?
Okay.
It's going to be a massive challenge, of course. We don't know what we are going to find there. It was a country that only come here only for some pre-season with Tottenham or Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain. I say, that is going to be a big test for us, like a coaching staff. And it was the moment also to reveal and to challenge ourselves, to add some people in our coaching staff, to add all the knowledge that we got when we arrived, that from the staff of the national team. Of course, that was really, really, really challenging thing. That for us was a massive, massive motivation to say, why no? We can explore, and then we follow the conversation, and then we agree together to start this process together. But I think was the right moment, no, for us in our lifetime, us in a personal way, but also in a professional. Yeah. In both sides were a perfect timing.
It's a great point about the club experience compared to country. Jesus, have there been areas where you've learned from the difference between the two?
Yeah, there are a lot of difference, especially for him.
Yeah.
For us, it's pretty the same. Medical staff, performance staff.
It's tough to give me credit.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's our credit and our vision.
Yeah, but to manage the last two clubs we were working with and the personalities there, it took a lot of energy from him, especially. And you pay for that. I think it's clear, even if he doesn't want to take a credit. That's true, because it's so difficult to be number one. It's so difficult to try to manage big personalities that they have the same interest, but in a different way, and go to two consecutive clubs with it was so difficult. I think for us it was something that, as I said, Mauricio, it was a challenge for us to come here where people know the name, but we had to prove that we can coach here and we can perform, maybe with less theoretical qualities, I will say, for the people outside. But for us, we wanted to have that experience. And then on what we miss is training sessions, is where you can feel the player, you can improve the player, you can challenge the player, But as Mauricio said before, it took us to a point that we have to change our way of work in order to have less training sessions, more precise, more clear, sometimes more simple. But with just basics, you can make people perform, because we manage players here that are being coached by other people every day, so week in, week out. So that's the big difference and challenges.
That's a really good point. We've talked a lot about training. Let's discuss the National Training Center. It's a big deal for U.S. soccer. How will that give you guys an edge at this World Cup? And how excited are you to have this facility where you guys can just foster this amazing relationship and help these athletes grow?
Yes, when the people say the World Cup, we need to arrive to quarterfinals, semifinals, win the World Cup is going to change, soccer here. That is not true. The truth is the training center is going to change.
Wow.
For sure. All the people that is involved in that process, to have your house, and to, after that, always we talk with Jesus, if you have your house, after need to become your home. And it's going to be, for me, the game change, because it's really important to have your own house or your own home. It's going to be your identity. It's going to be the place where we arrive from different part of the world, even from USA. When you arrive there, you are going to be in your house, in your home, and that is a massive thing that is going to inspire, is going to give an unbelievable power, to the soccer here in USA. And for me, that is a game change. It's not to win a game, because you can win a game. You can win a World Cup. You can depend of some situation that if you are some factors that is going to help, but that is going to be a legacy. That is going to be a thing that is going to change, the vision. Because when we came from Argentina, we came from Spain or, UK, and all the big, soccer, or football countries, it's massive to have your own house. And I think for me, I say thank you to all the people that is supporting, the federation into building the new house for us, and that is going to be massive. Maybe today the people doesn't realize, because we are focused, in the World Cup is how to win the games like this, but that is the impact that is going to be, a massive change for soccer here in USA.
Big deal. Anything to add, Jesus, about the National Training Center, about how it'll be a game changer?
I think it's super important to have your own home where you can use everything with consistency. Because now we go to, thanks to MLS clubs that they gave us facilities or access to facilities, but you have to go to hotels, you have to, you have to travel 25, 30, and it's not efficient. So I think, but the most important is to know what is the heart of your federation. And when, it's 10 days before I go to the national team, I know where I'm going to get changed, where I'm going to train in. I know the people that makes food for me, those kind of things that now you as a federation, you cannot appreciate. But in the coming months, I think will be something special.
I think everyone in this room also wants to know about the vision and the plan for the World Cup. And there's probably some things that you don't want to share with us. But when you guys sat down and took on this opportunity, what were some of those bullet points of goals that you wanted to attain, and a vision, a timeline to get to this World Cup?
What a difficult question for me always, eh? No entendí bien.
It's difficult for you.
¿Cómo es? ¿Cómo?
Everyone wants the vision. They want the plan.
The vision of how to get to the level you want to get.
What do we want to get for?
No.
For the World Cup, the plan. I mean, are you sitting down and writing out a timeline of everything you want to accomplish up to a certain point? And what can you tell me about the plan?
No, I think I was this morning talking about, I think we are in a very good place now. I think we are in the place that maybe no one believed to be a few months ago. It's true that when we arrived here 1 year ago was a rush time to, come on, we need to go, you need to go there, we need to perform, we need to get result, we need to, to push quick to the process, to need to go in a speed really fast. And we say, no, calm, because I think all the process, you cannot sometimes go more faster than with the possibility, with your, with the process demand, no? And I think we are in a very good now moment that arrive on time, but not because we beat two teams like Paraguay or Uruguay that in the plan was difficult to beat. But I think it's things that difficult for the people to see, and only us that we are inside of the group, we start to really experience and to feel that something important is growing. And of course, with the result that help to project better image and be more optimistic and everything. But I think what we achieve in 1 year is in some point to talk about the national team. First, the badge or the federation or the flag is more important than any name. And I think we proved that with this spirit, if you have good players and if you add better players, you can perform better and maybe you can achieve what you want. But in the opposite, it's difficult to be successful or to win. But you need to be strong in your ideas, in your philosophy, and act, and then be consequent with your action. That is one of our, I think, not to be being arrogant, but is our principal quality. Because talk about the knowledge, how you measure the knowledge of me, with you, with Jesus, who have more knowledge about the game, about the tactics, about the design, the game plan, or like this. People is talking, I'm not going to say my favorite word. I promised my wife not to say that, but no, it's to justify things, with that things that not happen after.
Sure.
And yes, but that is the sometimes perception, reality that we were talking. That is so important. Be realistic and do the impossible. Be realistic is about to see where you are and the starting point to evolve. If not, it's impossible. If you don't know where you are and how you start to work, it's impossible. It's true that soccer is a game that you can win doing your best or sometimes doing nothing, because that happened. But I think what we need now is what we were doing. I think what we did is to be very simple and step by step building the process and building the projection of the team. And I think we are now in a very good point. And I think very exciting and looking forward to March to play very good games. I think you are going to announce after.
We're going to tell you about those games. Not yet, Mauricio. You're jumping ahead.
Good.
No, I think, Jesus, given the performances we just saw, everyone was excited about them. It was a really good feeling. And I know you said in the locker room, there's a certain feeling, but what was the highlight for you, Jesus, in terms of the performances and where this group is at?
Well, I think what happened is we projected the ideal scenario. When you take a job, you think, okay, this is the list of players.
Sure.
If all of them are fit, healthy, in a great form, it's just your tactics, your management. But success never is linear. So always there are challenges and problems. So we had to face situations that we never expected. We had to face situations that wasn't in the plan. But I think that gave us opportunity to review things and to give opportunities to another different scenarios. And now that's the moment that those things together make the team feel that the badge is the most important. If you want to play for this team, you have to deserve to play. And whatever happens. But because all of us, we want the best on the field. But sometimes to be a top team is not to be a super top player. It's to have the wish to belong to something. And I think it's in the last games where we can see, despite tactics or game plans or whatever, is there are people that is proud to be on the field. Whatever it is, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And that's the most important. And that's what we want to keep for the coming month, right? Yeah.
So true. So proud to represent the USA. And that's what it's all about. Because the World Cup is here in the States, it does add pressure to the players, right? It's going to be a big deal for them playing here. How do you help them manage those expectations of a World Cup on home soil, given the magnitude of the moment? How will you help them manage that?
That is a very good question, Jenny. Very good. Because I think it's about to reproduce or to replicate the atmosphere that we are going to find in the World Cup. I think sometimes, because it's normal, we have access and to listen, and sometimes people confuse our players. I think in every single training and every single time that we have the possibility to be together, it's about to feel the pressure. And we need to from months ago, we start to test or to prove or to try to work in the way that say every single training session is going to be the most important because you are playing for your place in the starting 11 in the first game in the FIFA World Cup. Every single game is important. It's like the final of the World Cup. We cannot take that. That is a friendly game. That is, I'm not going to put my leg because I'm going to get injured. I think that is a wrong conception, wrong mindset. How you prepare, how you replicate all this stress that is going to be in the World Cup. If you, every time that we have the opportunity, we say, no, I'm not going to use that player because it's better. No, why you call some guy to play here if that is only a friendly game? It's not a friendly game. Sometimes the professionals are wrong, very wrong, because they say, no, but, you know, why Pochettino bring this guy and put in a risk? Is the most important is the World Cup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but how we reproduce our performance? Because after soccer are habit. You need to practice on training. You need to, after to go and to apply in official games. But if you don't have and you don't develop that mentality, it's difficult to after, now I'm going to play seriously. Now I'm going to put my standard high. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you never work in this way, when the stress will appear, you are going to go in and be are going to be or behave or perform in your natural habit. And if you don't increase that level, it's difficult. That is why it was so difficult, all this preparation, because we were fighting with a perception that, why we are going to play with this team if putting risk player is the most important is when arrive the World Cup. It's not true. Mm-hmm. Because you need to play and train every single day to try, to think that this is the final of the World Cup. If not, it's impossible after to behave in different way. That is why I think that mindset that we need to change, not only the perception with, because sometimes the fans or in the way that people translate to the fans, it's also in our players because they were contagious of that mindset. Mm-hmm. Okay, I go to the national team to try to visit my family, to go and to enjoy nice time because I was under pressure playing in Europe or playing in MLS in my team because the pressure to win. Yeah, but you need to arrive here to feel the same pressure. If not, you are going to identify the national team like a party time. No? Okay, we come here and do whatever. It's not like this. But the problem is the professional also, that some professional feel in the same way. And some player try to be protected from this comment because it's a friendly game. I'm not going to play. No, I prefer not to play. I prefer not to come. I don't prefer to go to the World Cup because it's not important. This type of things are really important. And I don't want to criticize anyone, but we need to tell the truth. The truth is the most important. If we want to be successful and be all together, and to be after winning or losing, but we need to after to compete because it's a many factors that can influence the score. But say, okay, we did everything. Mm-hmm. But if not, always we are going to regret something. Why not this? Why not that? That is a little bit no. And your question that was good because I can explain. Yeah, we fell.
It's a lot of pressure. It is a lot of pressure for the players.
Of course, when you play the World Cup, I play the World Cup and it's a massive pressure. It's a completely different competition.
Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of U.S. soccer, driving a positive impact in the game and in communities all across the country, helping turn possibilities into achievements and lifting fans, stadiums, and cities to their feet. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, official bank of U.S. soccer. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Jesus, how have you seen that on display, the trust from the players with Mauricio?
The trust between them?
Yeah.
I think now they trust. No, I think he's very approachable guy. So I think from day one. But it was a matter to change dynamics and to change habits. You know, this is sometimes it's not our kids' fault or our players' fault. It's like what we let them to do, and little by little. So on those routines, but with no stress, because we don't put a stress around the team until the training session begins or until the game starts. Because if not, it's difficult to be 24 hours in a hotel, always under a stress, because that's not realistic. So we are relaxed. He try to be close to the players. I mean, we know the players dictate the distance in between them and us, between them and the coach, but that's the way to build a relation. I think I can see a natural relation and behaviors in between them. They know they have a guy that they can approach to talk about anything. It's not just about soccer. And that's the way the team behaves, very natural. So you cannot force people to be in a certain way. And hopefully we can carry on doing the same.
Well, Mauricio gave a little preview that we do have a couple matches to look forward to coming up. Obviously, the U.S. will host 4 send-off matches in March and June. That's all part of this road to the World Cup. It's nice to finally see those matches out there announced to the world. Mauricio, you know, at that point, we're going to be, of course, closer to the World Cup. So how do you view those matches as a great test and a point where what will you be looking for in those games?
I think all that we were talking is they're going to be a very good test for us. I think continuous improving. We designed to, with the federation, of course, to try to find good opponent, you know, to challenge, opponent that can challenge us. And I think to really start to, before to start the World Cup, to start to live the World Cup. And I think it's important for the team. It's important for this group of players, you know, to experience to play again this type of team, like was Uruguay, Paraguay, Ecuador, Australia, Japan, South Korea. I think it's really important because what we need is to challenge teams that are in the top list. And I think that is going to be an experience important for us, very great experience to attack the World Cup in a very good condition.
Yeah. Jesus, your reaction to those matches and the big test before the World Cup?
Yeah, looking forward to play those games. I think the federation is doing a great effort to have those opponents. Mauricio always wanted to play against the best. We have a superstar dealing with those matches. Tom King must be, I don't know, from here, is the guy that makes things possible. And as Mauricio said before, you need to play good teams and especially good players that when the game is on their side, they can present to you real challenges close to the World Cup level.
Yeah. This is just something that popped into my mind. But Mauricio, I know both of you have spent a lot of time in the United States. You know, what have you enjoyed about being here? And we've talked about other sports. I had you at a college football game. You're going to go see a hockey game. I said hockey match. Hockey game. Like, what are you liking about the U.S. and this sports culture?
No, because one of our, you know, supporting team, that is Scott Goodwin, is he told me that I was with him in London, said, you need to watch a movie that was Miracle.
Oh, yeah, Miracle.
Yes. And I was watching, and I was nearly crying, you know?
Nearly?
No, I was crying. I don't want to, my weakness, I want to show my... No, I was crying because it's very emotional, because I think represent very well, no? The culture of the USA. Represent, no? And I think we were identified with too many things like this. And I don't know, I am in love with this movie, and for sure it's a thing that we are going to see together with the coaching staff next time that we will all together. But I don't know. It's amazing how a group of 20 players, really believe in an idea, and how was the process, to beat the best team that was Russia in the semifinal, and then got the gold medal, and that was an amazing history, and I think represent very well the culture of your culture.
Yeah.
And I think it's a massive thing for me to be to see, and to be in an emotional, link with this film, because I think put me in a situation of the World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and too many things to take, and I really discovered, hockey, that for me is a sport that is difficult in Europe or in South America to see, but I think I want to see now a little bit more, and want to know and learn from that sport that always you can translate that at our sport, that is soccer.
I'll take you to a hockey game. Did he just say we're going to have a miracle moment at the World Cup? Did anyone else catch that? That's what I heard. We're going to remember this conversation. I like that. Jesus, any final thoughts on just your excitement to be a part of this? Because you are the visionary and the planner, do you have a clock that's ticking about how many days we have until the World Cup, or is that just all of us watching?
We hope the World Cup was next week.
You do? Yes. Truly?
We can't wait, yeah.
So you're ready? We're ready.
We can wait, to play. I mean, being in sports my whole life, I wasn't professional. Watching sports, to have the opportunity to live a World Cup from inside, it's something special. I will live as something unique. In the last World Cup was the first time I was as a spectator in a World Cup. Never had the opportunity, and it was something amazing. The 2 weeks we spent in Qatar. So so looking forward to first to the draw, and then to try to figure out how we are going to play and win matches.
How excited are you for the draw? I'm going to see you in just a couple days in DC. Will that make it feel all the more real in terms of the planning?
I think it's going to be exciting, because I think it's going to be like we say in UK, the pen is going to drop, and now we're going to start to live, the World Cup, because you start to work to analyze and see the opponents and everything. And yes, I think it's going to be a nice experience, and hope to enjoy and have some luck.
Mauricio Pochettino, Jesus Pérez, thank you so much for the conversation, for the time, truly for sharing.
Thank you.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? And O'Reilly Auto Parts is right around the corner. O'Reilly Auto Parts can help take the guesswork out of your vehicle's check engine, ABS, or maintenance light with O'Reilly Veriscan, a free service that only takes a couple of minutes to complete. You'll receive a free, easy-to-read report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans that have been verified by ASE-certified master technicians. O'Reilly Veriscan can identify the most likely problem with just one scan. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts can then recommend the parts and tools you need to do the repair right the first time. And if you're not comfortable doing the repair yourself, they can recommend a local shop for you. Don't ignore check engine, ABS, or maintenance light. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today, a free service exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts. More from Kling and I coming up, but first, the next stop on the road to 2026 is the FIFA World Cup draw. Join us at the U.S. Soccer Draw Show on December 5th in Times Square, presented by Visa. Cheer along while watching the FIFA World Cup 26 draw on a Jumbotron with live reactions from special guests. You won't want to miss this one-of-a-kind experience of the World Cup draw with U.S. Soccer and Visa in the heart of Times Square. It's the final countdown for the road to 2026. The U.S. men's national team closes out preparation with a slate of world-class opponents. 3 top 10 ranked teams in Atlanta, Charlotte, and Chicago. The action begins with USA Belgium, followed by USA Portugal, presented by Bank of America, and then the All-State Continental Classico. It all leads to the Coca-Cola send-off match against 4-time World Cup champions Germany. Be there as the U.S. marches towards 2026. Get your tickets now at ussoccer.com/tickets. All right, last thing, our favorite segment, Ask the Pros, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is where you can ask a question for myself, for Kling, or for Ale Bedoya, and we'll get back to you and answer it on the next show. No Ale on this one, so I'll answer all the questions about playing at a high level, winning, MLS Shields and all of that. But let's start with you, Meghan, and someone from my neck of the woods. Christy in Miami says, what's one of the U.S. women's national team traditions or piece of culture you hope the next generation never loses?
I hope that the next generation never loses the fighting spirit, whether it's on the field or off the field. We fight for wins and trophies and all of these different things on the field, but then off the field, we also fight for equal rights and equal pay and all the social matters that affect women, affect people of color, affect marginalized communities, and just make the world a better place.
It has been a powerful tool. That team, I think, stands alone in the world of sports for what it's accomplished on and off the field. And it is really cool, I think, for myself to get to work with you, who has been a part of it, but also to see the next generation coming through and taking up that mantle and finding it themselves. And I know it's something we've talked about a lot on and off air. So I think it's a great question there from Christy and a great answer, as always, from you. Now we go to Mike in Nashville, who asks me, how do you decide which stories deserve the spotlight in such a crowded sports media space? I think the main answer is I started doing this because I was a fan and I was someone who loved all of these stories and all of these sports for a lot of different reasons. And if it resonates with me, then I think it's going to resonate with the people who like to consume the work I do. So I always sort of lead with, if I find it interesting, if I find it engaging, if I want to learn more, or if it's something where I felt like, oh, I haven't heard this before and it's really interesting, then that's the type of story that I want to put out on a platform and help other people find. And I think that's what we've been doing here at this show with some of the interviews and some of the different topics we have been able to cover. If you've got another question, though, like these two, you can ask the pros. You drop our partners at Westwood One a DM on Instagram at Westwood One Sports. Thank you, Kling, and thank you to all of you for listening. And don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube to watch and never miss an episode. And we'll be back again next week.